All right. Good afternoon. Thanks for joining this training. This is a great collaboration between TechSoft and Microsoft to present some modern desktop training for y'all. Couple things before we start. House cleaning things, I guess you'd say. This is the meeting we're in now. If you click the three ellipses here, you have the option to turn on live captions. So if you are in a loud area or you have any kind of accessibility needs, you can just click on turn on live captions and you can get a transcription down here in the bottom of everything that I'm saying throughout this um, training that we're going through. Also, if you want to be able to ask a question, there's a little chat bubble here. I have my coworker Kim with me. We also have Ben from TechSoft with us, who will be able to be in the chat and to answer questions if you want to put them in. And they will answer the question. And if it's something that they need to come off mute for and ask me or show something, they can do that also. Your microphones are automatically muted, just so you know, so you're not going to be able to come off mute and ask a question. Your cameras won't be in use today either. And if you're having any kind of issues joining this meeting, or if you're having any kind of issues with your audio and video, usually you can leave and rejoin, and that usually fixes most issues when it comes to that. So I do have a little quick PowerPoint presentation we're going to run through, and then we're going to go in a live demo of what the Microsoft Modern Desktop looks like and some really cool features that hopefully you'll learn some tips and tricks that maybe you didn't know that you could do with inside of Windows. Like I said, I'm Mike. I work for Microsoft. I'm joined, like I said, by Kim. She works for Microsoft also. We're based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. And yeah, that's our story. All right, so this is what our agenda looks like today. I'm going to show you guys how to navigate Microsoft Windows, learn some Microsoft Edge features, which are some really cool features that I'm going to teach you guys in Edge, and then show some collaboration within Microsoft 365. So Microsoft has always been focused on building the tools and platform that it needs to be successful. We love IT. It's the very core of our DNA and the roots on how a company was founded. So in this era of digital disruption, we asked ourselves, how do we deliver a modern workplace that is loved by users and trusted by IT? How do we help IT transition to the world of modern IT that's more agile, able to get things done quicker, and to do it in a way that users love? This is why we built Windows 10. This is why we built Windows 10 the way we did, to bring you to the latest advances in security, IT tools, and productivity features, to bring you to a platform that takes a full advantage of the technologies being developed in this next era, intelligence, cloud, and so on. Straight from the cutting edge, the browser for business is here. New features will protect your privacy, increase your performance and productivity, and provide a valued and personalized experience for your everyday use. Use Microsoft Edge across your devices, whether at home or work, cross-platform support, and all of your profiles sync. Have your favorite passwords, settings, and more with you at home, work, mobile device. Today, we will explore Edge productivity enhancers like the work dashboard, collections, and vertical tabs. Get modern with Microsoft 365. This means that moving from a perpetual office to the rich client experience of Microsoft 365 apps. New features will help you increase your productivity, provide a modern collaboration platform, comprehensive security, and compliance while simplifying the IT process and lower costs for your organization. All right. So I told you this is a short PowerPoint. So I'm going to be done with this PowerPoint. I'm going to switch to a different screen, and then we'll go ahead and start our presentation. So give me 1 second. All right. So this is where we're going to be working out of today. This is the regular screen that I have pulled up for my Windows device. So we're going to start pretty basic here and then work our way into quite a few really cool features within um, Windows. We're going to start with Windows. We're going to show some cloud storage. We're going to show some really cool features in Word later today, some really cool collaboration and sharing techniques, some security features, and we're going to spend quite a few minutes with inside of Edge so you guys can really see the power of what Edge can bring as your web browser. First, we're going to start with some basics. So the first thing I want to do is I want to hover over here to my little Windows icon here. So if you hover over this, it'll tell you that this is your start menu. So you can just click on your start menu here, and it's going to bring up quite a few different features that you're going to be able to do. This is going to be like your app tray, basically, that you can kind of go through. You're also going to see that if you hover over here, you have your power settings, pictures, and documents. Now, I know you guys have probably seen this before, but a lot of people don't know that if you like right click on one of these, you can actually personalize this list. So it's a really cool feature with inside of here. You're just going to click personalize, and you're going to be able to put which folders appear in your start menu. So you can actually turn on or off different ones inside of your start menu. You're also going to be able to, when you're in your start menu, you're going to see that you have all these live tiles over here. So you can see them, they're moving, they're doing different things. All you got to do is you can pick one of your apps over here and you can just right click on it. So if I want to, let's get rid of Outlook. So I want to unpin it from start. It's not there anymore. What's really cool about this is you can go and customize this however you see fit. So I can actually click on this box here. I can rename this. I can name this whatever I want. Now, if I want to go back and I want to look for Outlook here, I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. I can also show you a cool way to be able to search for it here in a second. I can just right click on Outlook and I actually have some options here. I can pin it to start, which is going to be here. I have more options, which is pin to taskbar if I need to, or I can open it in the file location. I can even uninstall from here if I want to. And it's going to show me all my recents that I've been looking at. So it's going to show me tasks. It's going to show me my recents that I've been, emails that I've gotten, and all those different things because I did pick Outlook as my way to be able to do this. What I want to do is I want to pin this to taskbar. So you're going to see that it auto goes down here to a new group. So I don't have this group named or anything, but what I can do is I can just drag this and I can drop it right up here. So now I have all of this up here in my quick start. So I don't have to go searching for those apps that I want to be able to use. So if I want to start a new one here, let's get rid of this and let's type in gaming, hit enter. I have a gaming one now. I can move these around if I want to. So if I want to move these down here, I can. But you'll see here that I have my Xbox game bar, my Xbox companion, and my Xbox app. So I can just right click on this. I can pin to start. It's going to show up here, and I can put this right up here. So I can actually move it and put it wherever I want to. This is a super cool way to be able to customize your Windows experience the way you want to. So now I have gaming here. I can right click this if I want to. I can unpin this. I can unpin Edge if I want to. And I can unpin this other one that I have. And now I have my new gaming one. So I always have the option to be able to kind of customize this the way I want to, and you can use these apps to be able to find all the stuff that you're going to need immediately with inside of this. It's just a cool way to be able to customize it and make it your own. Next thing I want to touch on is going to be your Cortana. So this is your Cortana, this little circle here. We're going to go to the search box here in a second. This is your Cortana. This is gives you the ability to ask questions and to maybe find things out. So if you want to ask when the weather is, you can actually say, "Hey Cortana, what's the weather today?" And she actually read that off to you. So you can actually search this. You can send messages through this. You can do all those different things. You can look for recent files. You can send an email. You can see you got the different arrow here to be able to go through. This is just a really nice personal assistant to be able to help you throughout your day. We also, next to this, have what is called our task view. So if I want to close this out here, I can actually go to my task view, and this is going to show me everything that I've been doing in this day. I can go back. You see it's got a little bar next to it. It's telling me I can go back all the way to July 14th if I want to. And I can actually look and see what all the tasks that I've been doing and the different things that I've been working on all the way back through July 14th. You can also see up here that you have the ability to add a new desktop. So if you want to be able to open a new desktop, all you're going to have to do is be able to um, click new desktop, and you're just going to open a new desktop, and you're going to see that you have different desktops open. I can close it once I open if I want to, and that way you can have multiple desktops open and working across all those different things that you're going to be doing. You can also see here that you can sync your activities across all of your devices. So you're not just limited to one thing if you want to. You can actually you can set this up to whatever device you go on. So I know I have 2 laptops that I use, 2 work laptops. I also have a personal laptop that I use, and I can actually sync those as long as I got my accounts all set up through there. Next thing I want to touch on is going to continue down here. You obviously have your taskbar that you can play around with if you want to. You can move stuff, unpin stuff, and all that. But I want to go down here to what is called your notification center or your action center. So if I click this here, this is going to bring up where all of my notifications lie. I can click up here and I can manage notifications just like you do on your cell phone or tablets. You can go down here and you can turn on different things. So you can obviously turn on your Bluetooth devices, your location, your you can make this alarms only if you want to be able to set up your locations for, or set up all those different things for that. So you have options here to be able to kind of get this the way you want it to go. You can set up a night light if you want to. You can project it. You could connect it. So this is where you're going to go to find all of those actions. This is the easiest way for you to actually turn up your brightness also. So you can actually see that you can turn your brightness high or low right through your action center. So we got our start, we got our Cortana, got our task view, and we got our action center. The next most important thing on here is going to be your search. This is what is this here. This is going to be, some of you might not have the full box. You might just have the little magnifying glass to search. But this is where the power of what Windows 10 and everything being connected comes into play. You can actually just click on your search and you can search for anything. You can even filter it down. You can do all kinds of different things. You can search for apps, documents, web, more. So if I click more, you can see the complete list of all the different things that I can search for right inside of here. I can search for Lions. Now it's giving me a football team. Now, what if I want to look for pictures of lions? I can actually just type in pictures of lions. And now you can see I have the ability to be able to search. I'm also not only have the ability to search the web, but I can search through anything that is on my computer. So I can actually search for files. I can search for programs. If I want to go to my control panel, I can actually just type in control panel. You can see that now I can just pull my control panel. Search is very robust in Windows and it looks for everything. But the really cool part about it is that you can absolutely filter this based on what you want to look for. So you have all kinds of ways that you can actually filter. You can also manage accounts from here. You can add a Microsoft account from here. You can even check your search settings if you want to. But you have all kinds of different options right from the main screen. You're not leaving, you're not going to a different thing. It's right from the main screen of your computer. So you're actually going to be able to do that. Another quick way to be able to search is just hit Windows S and it pulls it up also. So if you want a shortcut, Windows S is going to give you that easy shortcut for you to be able to really expand your search without having to actually go down and click the search button. So you do have some options. The next thing I want to search, though, is going to lead into our next really cool feature with inside of Windows. So it's called Windows Hello. So we're going to hit enter, and I'm going to take you to Windows Hello. Windows Hello is a really cool feature inside of Windows. As long as it loads up for me, I am sharing, I'm using a lot of bandwidth. So let's go to your info. All right, there we go. Pops right up. So Windows Hello, if you have a newer modern computer, gives you the ability to sign in with your face. So you can sign in with your camera. You have options for fingerprints if that's available. You see that if that option is not available with your computer, it will not let you do it. You can sign in with the PIN. You can set up your security key and passwords. You can also go in and set up a dynamic lock, which allows Windows to automatically sign out for you if you want to. So Windows Hello is a really cool feature to be able to make it easy to be able to sign in and to be able to sign in and make it where it is like almost impossible for someone else to sign in. Even if you put a picture up, it will not sign you in. It has to be your actual face. And that's the really cool and really the incredible security of Windows is to be able to sign in like this. This is what I use to sign in every single day. It just looks right at my face and it signs me right in. And I don't have to do anything else but that. While we're in our settings, I want to actually take you to updates and security. Updates and security is a very important feature in Windows, and it's because updating your computer is one of the more important features that people actually kind of take for granted. Working for Microsoft for 10 years, I've seen a lot of people that had computer issues and updates fixed it. You can actually check for updates if you want to. You can also view optional updates. You can even pause updates for 7 days if you choose to. Now, you see, I work for Microsoft, and that is controlled by my organization. And some of those features might be controlled by your organization also. But you do have the option to kind of go in and check for updates. You see, my last update was 1206. I can actually view and configure update policies, and you have all these different options here. But just as important as updates is your security. Security for Windows is very integral part of what we're doing. So you can see here that I have the option. I can go to delivery optimization if I want to, but you also see that you have your Windows security here also. This is where you're going to go to see all the different security features that Windows offers. Windows security has come a long, long way over the last 10 years. I've been working for Microsoft and before that. This now is very robust, it's very dependable, and it's a very good option for you. Now, the way Windows security works is Windows security is built into Windows 10. You always will still have that option to have that third party Norton's or whatever you want to. But when you do apply one of those, it does turn Windows security off. You can only have one security on at a time. So what you can do here though is you can go into your Windows security and we're going to open our security window. This is what it looks like. This gives us tons and tons of options to be able to go through and kind of see all the different things that Windows security is going to be able to help you out with. You can see that you can view virus or threat protection, account protection, you have firewall, device security, app browser control, device performance and health, and family options. So you can actually set up your family and use across their devices also. All you're going to do is you're going to click on one of these and it's going to give you that. So you can actually do quick scans. You can do all those things that you always do with other previous different like third-party ones and stuff like that. If I go to device and performance here, I can actually see that, I've had no issues. Storage capacity is good. My battery life is good. Apps and software is good. And I even have drop boxes to kind of even look and see if there's any issues here. Not only that, but we give you help. If you have questions, that's what these are going to be for. Every one of these that you click, you're going to have a help section. So you're going to be able to go in and see what those are if there's any issues. Same with the app and browser control. So you can actually go in and see what kind of reputation-based protection settings and all those different things are. So you have really good control over what we offer with inside of Windows. We also have the ability to go through and you can set your settings up. So you can see what's going on with settings. You can manage providers with apps and different things. You can even manage your notifications through here also. So settings is very robust and all this device and performance control and all of your security is very robust inside of Windows. All right. So far, we got about 25 minutes in, a lot of information. Before I move on to the next thing, have we had any questions so far? Are we looking good?
Yep, we are looking good. No questions so far.
Thank you, Kim. And don't forget, if you have any questions, put them in there. Kim and Ben, they'll take care of you and answer any questions. So the next thing we're going to go into now is going to be OneDrive. So we're going to touch on a lot of different features with inside of Windows to make this a modern desktop. And the next thing we're going to touch on is OneDrive. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to be back on my regular screen. I have a couple different ways to look at OneDrive, and it depends on really how your setup is. So I can see that I have my File Explorer. So if I want to open up my File Explorer here, I can actually go here, and I can see that I have my OneDrive right here. I have two OneDrives, and that's because I have my Microsoft, and then I have our demo OneDrive, which is our fake company Contoso that we use to do our demos out of. I have my OneDrive set up right here. These are the folders. These are the files. These are everything that's inside of this OneDrive for this particular account. My other option to be able to do this is going to be over here. So you're going to see this is a little blue clouds over here. So if I click this open, I can actually see the different things that are going on in this OneDrive. So I can actually go here, I can click on this one, and this is the one that we're working in right now, Contoso 1. This is called your OneDrive Sync Center. So this gives you a lot of really cool ways to see what's syncing. This gives you really cool help features. And this kind of shows you exactly how OneDrive works and all the different things you can do. So we're inside my file folder here. But what I want to show you more is going to be, I can view online. If I click this button, what will happen is it takes me right to OneDrive.com so I can look at these files inside of there if I want to. I can also go to my help and settings, and this is really where you're gonna like play around and set this up the way you want to. You can open your OneDrive from here if you want to. If you click on your settings, you're gonna see that you do have settings here. Just so you know, as long as you have an Office 365 or a Microsoft 365 account, you do have 1 terabyte of cloud storage, and that's with a paid account either from your organization or from yourself. So you do have 1 terabyte of cloud storage, and you get, it's basically 1,000 gigabytes. So you'll see here, you can actually see how much storage I'm being used. Out of 1,024 gigs, I have 42 megabytes in this particular one, because let's be honest, Excel, PowerPoint, those kinds of files aren't really that big. You're going to see here that you have your settings. So you can go in and kind of play around with your settings if you want to. You can start OneDrive automatically when you sign into Windows. You can turn that off. Automatically pause sync when this device battery is in saver mode. So you do have options inside of here. You can also click account, and this is where you can add an account also. So you can add an account if you need to. So that's what I did. I had my Microsoft account. I added the Contoso account, went through, put my email password in, and I set it all up. You can set up other things like your backup if you want to. You can manage backup. You can check your network, office, and about. So there are some features inside of here once you're inside of your settings to be able to set that up. Also over here, you're also going to see that you have the ability to pause syncing. So if you're going to be gone on an airplane or you're not going to be in Wi-Fi area, then you can actually pause your syncing so the computer is not trying to continue to sync because it's not managed to there. You can manage your storage from here. You can get help. You can send feedback. What I want to focus on for just a second is the get help part of this, because the get help part of this is pretty important. And the reason it's important is because of the status symbols. So if I click get help, it's going to give me some options here. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. But you can see here that if I go down here and it says, what do the OneDrive icons mean? And what are these icons? Those are these icons right here. So always people ask, what do these icons mean? Well, we give you an option to be able to do this without having to search the web, without having to search, ask a friend or whatever it is. You have the option to be able to do this right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on what do the icons mean, and we're going to go through some of them, because they're super important with the way you're going to use OneDrive. Now, some of these first options are going to be the actual cloud here and what's going on with that. But what I want to focus on for this particular thing is going to be, what do these icons mean? So the cloud here means that this folder or this file is all in the cloud. You have to be online. You have to go there. You have to be able to look at it online. Now, if you have one with a green check mark in it, what's that mean? This gives you an online only file. When you open an online only file, it downloads it to your device and becomes locally available file. You can open a locally available file anytime, even without internet. So this file here has been one that I actually have put on my device, and now I put it back in the cloud. But for rolling 30 days, you do have the option to be able to open this file without being online. Now you'll see here that if I have a little cloud with a person next to it, that means that is a folder that is being shared. Now I will show you one that we don't have over here, and that's going to be this one. This one gives me the option to have this file exactly on my computer and only on my computer. So the way that's going to work is whenever I see whatever over here, so if I see a file here, let's go to this one right here, making a safer workplace. We all want that in our lives. So I'm going to right click on this, and you're going to see that it gives me options. It gives me options that I can either share, I can view online, I can check a version history, or I can always keep on this device. If I were to make this where I always keep this on this device, you're going to see that it's going to fill in with that green little dot now with the check mark through it. Now this is only on this device. But if I want to move it back, super easy. All I'm going to do is I'm going to right click back on it, and I'm going to uncheck it, and now it's going to go back to the cloud. So you'll see here, now you'll see that this has a little check through it, just like this one underneath it. That means for the next 30 days, this file is locally stored on this computer and it's in the cloud. I don't have to be online to pull this, but it will stay here for a rolling 30 days. And what does a rolling 30 days mean? That means on day 25, if you were to open that file, it starts that 30-day process all over again, and it stays locally listed on your computer. So it's a really easy way to figure out what these different status symbols mean. If you're having any issues, if you have some red, if you have some, gray clouds down here, check these out, and it's really going to help you out when it comes to the way you want to be able to look at these statuses. Now, before we get out of OneDrive and kind of go into our Edge browser routine, what we're going to do is I want to show you guys how to share from here. So sharing is an integral part of OneDrive. It is a way to make things collaborate a lot easier and a way to make things work faster for you. So I'm going to take this document here, this proposed topics. You can see that I already have this shared, so because I have my little person next to it. So let's go back to employee safety guidelines. So I want to right click on this file. I can see that I have a share button right here. I'm going to click share on this, and it's going to bring this box up. This little dialog box is going to be your permissions box. These are going to be what do you allow people to see of this that you're sharing. Excuse me. I can see here, I got my little highlighted box here. I can put a name, a group, an email. You'll see a little pen with an icon next to it. This allows me to either edit, view, or I can link a setting to it. So I can make this where they can't view it, or I can make it to where they can't edit it. And I completely control this. I can send a message if I want to this also. And when you're sending this in an Outlook email. They're going to get an Outlook email. It's going to show them, hey, you got this document that wasn't shared. Click follow this link, and it takes you right to it. But you can actually go in and kind of mess around with the permissions of how you want to set this up. You can actually make it to where anyone with this link can do it. You can have people inside of the work within that link, people with existing access, or specific people. Now, when you move these, you're going to see that your other settings, your permissions have changed a little bit. So anyone with this link, you can actually allow for editing or not allow for editing. Obviously, if you have unallowed somebody, you might want to block the download because you're not allowing editing anyway, so why would they need to maybe download that? Or maybe it's something that they need to print out or something like that, but they're not going to be editing it. Then you can not allow, you can allow the download, but not allow editing. You can also set up expiration dates. You can set up a password, and you can really set up this device, this particular thing, the way you want to. Now you're going to see that it changes a little bit if you move it to other things. So people with inside of my organization, they can allow editing or not allow editing, and that's it. People with existing access don't have any options here. This is when you're going to go to OneDrive.com and change your permissions. We're not going to be diving into that. That's more of a more in-depth training into OneDrive, but you go to OneDrive.com and that's where you can manage permissions. And you can set specific people and they can allow or they can block download. So you have a complete option here of the way you want to set this up. When you start typing a name in, you're automatically going to start getting the people that are in your organization. Are going to start popping up on there, and you can continue to add people if you want to. But this is what sharing looks like inside of OneDrive, and it just makes it so much easier to be able to collaborate, which we're going to get in later during this training. All right, we're going to move on to the Edge browser now, but I want to make sure we have any questions on OneDrive or sharing or status symbols before we move on.
Nothing in the chat so far.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I just wanted to mention real quick that we'll be doing a more in-depth training on OneDrive in the next couple of months. So stay tuned to your email for that.
Thank you, sir. All right, so the next thing we're going to dive into is going to be our Edge browser. So this is what our Edge browser looks like. You're going to see here up in your right-hand corner, you're going to have your little work picture or personal picture, however you're signing into your Edge browser. If you click on that, it's going to show you all the different, see, I got a whole bunch of profiles that I use for work, for different demo accounts, stuff like that, my personal one if I want to. But you'll see that I have sync on, which means that I am actually syncing all of my passwords. I'm syncing all of my favorites. I'm syncing everything between all the different devices that I use. So I'm using my point of access, my browsing data, passwords, everything is being synced. All right, so now what we can see here is that I have on my main page here, when I open this, this is my main page that I originally start on. I have all kinds of options inside of here to be able to set. This is my home page. This is my page. You can see I have my Contoso electronics up here. I also have all kinds of different options. So I have my regular page that I can just start typing in my web addresses if I want to. You can see I have my temperature up here. If I hover over it, it's going to give it to me. I can search not only the web, but I can actually search my company inside of here. And I'll show you that here in a second. You can use voice also. You also have some really cool settings that you can set up with this main homepage that you're going to be using inside of Edge. So if I click settings here, you'll see that I can actually change the content of this page. So I can actually make it inspirational if I want to. I can make it focused, which gets rid of any of the other stuff that I don't want. I can make it informational, which gives me most of the news and everything. Or I can just customize it and kind of set it up how I want to. Once you're doing a customization, you can actually say how many link rows you want. So like I got one row here. You can have two if you want to. You can turn backgrounds off. I have mine on image of the day, but you can also put your own image or a custom theme inside there also. You also have the ability to kind of judge how you want this news feed. If you click the down arrow, you can actually do headings only, content visible, or content off. And this is what it's going to look like when you're customizing. Now, if you go back to like inspirational, this is only going to show me the headlines plus a little bit of the news. If I want to do informational, it's going to go that. But if I want to do custom and I only want to do headings, now you can see I only have my headings at the bottom, and it's giving me these options to be able to do that. You can also see that if I hover over this, I can personalize this, and I can actually see a drop-down box where I can change that heading if I decide to change it to something else. You're going to have your back arrow, your forward arrow. You're going to have your search box here. You're going to have the ability to turn a favorite on. You're also going to be able to see your favorites, and you can see collections. We're going to go in and show you those different ones here. If you want to be able to zoom in, all you got to do is click the ellipses here, and you're going to see that you can zoom in if you want to on this web page. You can make it full screen, or you can zoom in, or you can zoom out depending on what you're looking at. Next thing that's really cool with inside of Edge is the ability to have vertical tabs. So if you go over here to your left-hand corner and you click on this little actions menu here, this gives you some really cool features with inside of Edge that maybe you didn't even know that were there. So if I click this here, it says here I can turn on vertical tabs, I can recently close tabs, and see all tabs to collections, which we'll go over in a second. But if I want to turn on vertical tabs, now I can actually have everything over here on the side. So if I want to add a new tab, new tab, new tab, you're going to see everything is here at the side instead of at the top, just like it was before. So this just gives you another option to be able to play around with and set this up the way you want to. I can also go over here and I can right click on this and I can also create a new tab. I can also pin a tab. I can mute a tab. I can move a tab to a new window if I want to. I can also turn verticals off by right clicking, or I can go back up to the Action Center. I can also add all tabs to favorites, or I can add all tabs to a collection, which gives me a lot of options to be able to do. Now, most of you will probably leave this where it's at the top, because that's where I leave it, because that's just how I grew up. That's just the way I've always had my windows, is tabs across the top. I can just close all these tabs now, and I can see now that I have all this set up. You can also right click on this tab, and it does give you more options, just like I was showing you before, so you can turn on verticals that way also. But you can go to the tab center, the Action Center here, to be able to use that. Next thing we're going to dive into is a little bit of our app launcher, and then we're going to dive into some settings. So you'll see here that I have this little waffle menu up here. When you open this page to your existing page, your home page, you're going to see that you have your little app launcher. So this is our Office 365 app launcher. It just gives us an easy access to find Microsoft apps and how to reach additional Office apps that maybe you didn't know that you had access to. So what we're going to do is we're going to click this here. It's going to pop up this little dialog box, and it's going to give us the option to either go to All Apps or Office 365. Office 365 will take us to our Office 365 homepage, but All Apps will show you exactly what I mean by All Apps. So if I click All Apps here, it's going to show me everything. Office 365, All Apps, and then even some cool tips and tricks to be able to set this in. You can also add add-ins from here, and if you hover over here, you can actually go to the different ones that you want to, different apps that maybe you can use and do like that. So this is what happens when you go in to the All Apps. If you click Home, it's going to take you to your Office landing page. The Office landing page is super cool because the Office landing page gives you the ability to kind of see all the documents, all the different things that you've been working on. This is all saved in the cloud. This is all stuff that's either in your OneDrive or maybe it's been shared in SharePoint, but these are all things that are going to be stuff that you've worked on recently. You're going to be able to look through this page. You can flick through if you want to. You can filter and search for things in here. You can upload a document. You also have your all documents. You can continue to see that I can just continue to scroll through all these different ones here. This is going to tell you the activity, who it's shared by, if it is shared, your modified, who modified it, when it was modified, and the name of it. You can also go to your recents. You can go to shared, and you can click any if you want to make any of these your favorites. So this is what's called your Office landing page. This is where you can go, office.com. It takes you to the same thing. And this is where everything that you've been working on is going to like make it easy for you to find without having to go inside of Word or PowerPoint or Excel and look for those documents. All of it is right here in one spot to make it super easy. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you some really cool security features inside of Edge. If you give me 1 second to get the website. Thought I had it saved and I did not. All right, here we go. Or not. All right. Well, anyway, I want to show you how this works. So you'll see here that when I open this web page, I have a little lock next to this. So what this does is there's some site information that I can look at when I have this lock. You'll see that when I'm on this one, I can also have the lock here and I can kind of look at the different things if I want to. So what I'm going to do is I can right click on this lock and it's going to tell me, is my connection secure? What do my permissions look like for this site? The different kind of cookies you're going to be using? Is there tracking on for this site? Or have I blocked any trackers? So this is a really cool way to kind of make sure that you are having a really incredible way to access information about sites and secure information for your company. So if I go back over here to the Microsoft homepage, I can right click on this and it's going to tell me the same thing. So I can see that this connection is secure. I can also go to permissions. So this opens up a whole new thing and shows me what permissions do I want to be able to use for this particular site, why I'm on this particular profile. So what's really cool about this is that you can actually go through and do all kinds of different things. You can turn ads, you can block by default. Most things are blocked by default. So this is just like setting up on your new cell phone or your new tablet, your notifications on how you want to be able to set that up. So it's just an easy way for you to be able to check your security when you're on different websites. All you're going to do is you're going to right click on the lock and you're going to be able to look for any issues that you might have when it comes to that device. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to my home page. I'm going to close this and we are going to open this back up. And one of the cool things about this is since I'm on this home page and this home page is linked to my work, I can not only can search the web, but I can actually search for people or anything within inside of my organization. So if I want to look up Patty Fernandez, she works for Contoso, I can actually see here that I can pull her up right here on my search. I also got a little work one now, so I can click on work and I can see all kinds of different things. You can actually make a QR code if you want to, and you can search for that. But it's just another way to illustrate how Microsoft Search helps find internal and external information. It just makes it so much easier, and you're going to be able to search right from your organization, but you can also search the web for any of those things that you're going to be looking for. Next thing I want to show you is a thing called collections. So we talked about it earlier. It is a really cool feature that if you hover over here, there's a little plus box with another box on it. These are what's called collections. You can also do Control-Shift-Y, and this will help you get there. So collections gives you a really cool way to set up collections of websites. So if you want to click Start a New Collection, this will actually give you the ability to add content. You can drag an image or select text to start a new collection. So you can add the current page if you want to. So if I want to click Add Current Page, now I have this up here as my collections. You'll see that I have the little 3-button drop-down box, which means that I can actually send to Excel, OneNote, Word. I can even do a Pinterest if I want to. And I can actually search and filter the way I want to filter once I start these collections. I can pin this if I want to. It's going to pin it to the side over here, and I can unpin this. If you want to delete a collection, all you're going to do is right-click and then hit Delete. This is just another really cool feature that you can do inside of Edge to kind of add all kinds of different things that you want to be able to add to it. So you can actually go and you can also turn on your little notebook. So if you want to add a little notepad to this, you can. So there's all kinds of really cool things that you can just add for your notes. Next thing we're going to talk about is your favorites bar. So favorites here. So if I want to favorite this website, all I'm going to do is hover over and click favorite, and you're going to get an option. Do you want to be able to do it as a favorite or a favorite bar? So you can make it another favorite if you want to, which will create a folder for your favorites, or you can make this a favorite on your favorite bar. So I put this on here. I'm going to click done. And now you're going to see that this is going to show up on my favorites bar, and I actually will have this on there from here on out. If you want to unfavorite something, you're just going to hover back over and click remove, and it's going to take care of that for you. Once you're inside of this and you're playing around with it, you can also go to your 3 dots here, your ellipses, and you can actually go to your favorites. So Control-Shift-O will actually take you to your favorites, and then you can actually go through and kind of play around with your favorites, your folders, and all that. So if I click this here, this is going to show me that I have this favorite, so I can go to Teams right from here if I want to, and that's one of my favorites. You're also going to see that you have the option to go to your history. You can look at downloads. So what apps is a really cool feature inside of Edge because it will actually make things into apps. So you can actually install a site as an app. So it's a really cool feature. So if you're inside of Teams, you don't have the desktop app, you can actually install Teams as an app inside of there, and it just makes things using it quite a bit easier. One of the biggest things about this, though, is extensions. Extensions are awesome, and they're an easy way to add really cool things to what you're going to be doing inside of Edge. So if I click extensions here, this is going to give me the option to get extensions for Microsoft Edge. So I'm going to click this, it's going to open up. These are different extensions that I can use to make work maybe work better for me. I'm going to be honest with you, the coolest one that I've ever used on here is going to be Microsoft Editor Spelling and Grammar Checker. I've used this, I have it on my personal one, I have it on my work one, and now I can actually get and I can add this extension to my demo one here if I want to. You'll see that it's downloading, and now here it is. So I have the ability to have this right here. This extension's right here. If I want to take it off, I can just click on it, and I can to spelling, grammar, or refinements. I can even choose the language if I want to, but this is just another really cool add-on that you can add on to make Edge work better for you. By far, this is my favorite one, but you do have all kinds of options to be able to do that. Next thing I want to show you guys is your settings. So settings is important inside of here because this is going to take you to this page. This is going to be where you can manage your account settings, but you can also manage your Edge settings. So you can manage your profiles. You can manage your default browser, your cookie site permissions. You can share and paste. You can actually do filters, printers, but system is a super important one because you can actually do a startup boost if you want to, which will actually make your browser launch in the background. You can also optimize performance by saving resources on sleeping tabs. So this will just speed your computer up by going and tinkering around with a few different things. A lot of this will auto default to be on, but it does give you the option to kind of set this up the way you want to. So I know we're running short on time, so I want to show you guys a couple of really cool features in Word that are incredible, and it's just features that I think are going to make you kind of work together better and make work faster for you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open Word. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to change my account. All right, so this is what Word looks like. You could toggle on or off if you want to, and this is what's going to do your cloud save, is toggling this on or off. Now you can click File here. You still have the option to go through and kind of do all the different things if you want to. But what I want to show you guys is just going to be some really cool features inside of Word that really makes it a lot more robust than maybe you think it is. These are features that you can also use in Outlook, one of them. So I have Dictate here. Dictate is a really cool mode with inside of here that actually lets me say what I want to say, period, and then continue to talk, and I can get all of my ideas out without even having to type it out because you usually speak faster than you type. So now you can get everything out and you'll be able to just dictate, and this is like 99% incredible, and it's just an easy way for you to be able to get more work done faster, period. You can also change your language on this. So if I want to stop, I'm just going to hit stop. I go to my settings here. I can actually change my spoken language. I can also turn on auto punctuation. So this is just a really cool feature inside of Word that just gives you more options to be able to do the things you're doing. Another really cool feature inside of here is if you go to References, you can actually pull up Researcher. So Researcher is a super cool feature within inside of Word that lets you actually like type in things. So if I want to type in hummingbirds, it's going to pull this stuff up for me. I can click on this first one here. It's going to let me look at it. I can click on it. And now if I want to, I can actually copy and paste it. Control C, Control V. And now I can set this over here if I want to. You can also go and find other resources. If you hit the plus sign here, you can add a topic as the header if you want to. You can also see the plus sign here. So now I've actually added this. If I want to, I can actually send notes back and forth if I need to. I can share this document and I can collaborate with up to 99 people in it because I'm working in the cloud. This is what we call co-authoring. Co-authoring is a super cool way to be able to work on a document and to have other people help you. With the ability to have up to 99 people at one time or various times throughout the day work on this, it just makes jobs a lot easier and documents to get done faster. We do not suggest you have 99 people work on one. That is craziness. But you could have 5 people, 8 people, 9 people work on a document together. And then that's where a really cool feature with inside of Word comes out called version history. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to save this Contoso. And now what I want to do, though, is I want to go to File. I'm going to go to Info. And you're going to see that I have what's called version history. Now, if you right-click on your File Explorer or you go into OneDrive.com, if you save this to OneDrive, you'll see version history there also. This is a really cool way to see what has happened to a document that you're sharing with other people. Nothing obviously has happened in this because I have not shared this document yet, but you do have up to 500 instances of sharing of a document with inside of Office 365. So it's a really cool way. Not only can you co-author and collaborate together, but if anything gets messed up, if anything changes, if anything just gets crazy in there, you can go in and you can still have those 500 different ways to go back and look at those different ones that are inside of there. Another cool feature that's built inside of all Office apps is your search bar. You can search for anything inside of not only this, but PowerPoint and Excel. OneNote has a little light bulb that you can actually search and add things to, but you can search inside of these now, and you can search for things that maybe you're wanting. So you want to add a hyperlink, you want to insert a bookmark, you want to add a link to this, you can. So now you can actually go in and you can search, and you can even show more suggestions if you want to. This is not only in Word, this is in PowerPoint and Excel and in OneNote to a degree. So you actually have the ability to search all of those also. Now, I know we've given you a lot of information, but the last thing I want to leave you with is some really cool features within Outlook. So Outlook is one of the more powerful tools that everybody uses almost every single day. But you do have the option now to send an email with the ability to, let me pull this over here. I'm going to close this out. You do have the ability to share now with not just sending a copy. So this is my email. I'm going to close this. I'm going to open up my demo email and my inbox. I want to send a new email. So not only can I use dictate, just like I did before in the Word, I have my editor, which is another thing, immersive reader, which not only works here and in Word, but works in Edge also, gives you the ability to have spoken language read to you at speeds that you have. It's a really cool accessibility feature built into almost all of Microsoft products at this point. It's awesome. But what's really cool about this is that you can actually go through and insert a message the way you want to. So I can attach a file. I can also go down to my web-based locations. And if I want to do Contoso, I can actually choose one of these files. And once I click this, I can click Insert. And now it's going to ask me, do I want to share a link or do I want to attach a copy? If I'm sharing a link, when somebody gets this email saying, hey, this person shared a link, it's taking you to that Word document on the web so you can immediately start working in it. You still have the option to attach a copy if you want to, but sharing a link just makes it so much easier for somebody to go right to that thing. You can work in it together with the co-authoring feature that I just showed you. It's a really cool way to collaborate. It's a really cool way to work together. And it's just a really cool way to kind of go in and set up all the different things that you want to be able to do when you're working together as a team. You can also go back to your message. You can go to review. You can go to options here, and you can actually set up your encryption if you want to. You can request a delivery receipt. You can request a read receipt if you want to, and you have the option to delay delivery. So you can actually send an email now, and you can send it later at 5 o'clock if you want to. So there's tons of options inside of Outlook. There's tons of options across all of Windows. This is a lot of information in an hour, but I hope that you've learned something new, something that you can take with you to kind of make your job maybe easier and your collaboration maybe easier. I'd like to thank TechSoft and Ben for helping do this. But this is all I have for today. Thank you for joining the Modern Workplace. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to put them in the chat and we can take those now. Thanks for your time and have a great weekend.